Hey, yeah, what's up? This disciple Marcello Currents reign back up in this anti-Illuminati all day, anti-Freemasons all day. You know what it is. So this is gonna be random talks, just coming off the cuff, just coming off off the dome. You know what I'm saying? Just talk about random things and talk about, things that's going on right now. So so what was on my mind when I first was going to start this video was just reestablishing something that I don't think a lot of African Americans are aware of. You don't have to be loyal to this foolishness that's out here. There's a lot of leaders, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of the community that feel obligated to be loyal to the hip hop culture, which consists of gang banging and killing and drugs and sex and all kind of stuff and abuse to women and all kind of stuff. You don't have to be loyal to none of that to be black. That's what you gotta understand. That's not per se African. To me it's black, which means it's some people here that are not African. They black. Now, if you can say black, you can use it for African, you can use it for that. But there are some people that they just black. You're not African because there's nothing in you that supports the cultivation of the African American community. You don't grow it like a plant. If it was a plant, you would be burning it down, plucking the leaves, taking money from it, in other words, and you would just be burning down the cultivation of the African American community. So you're just black to me. See, you ran into somebody that's educated and that can see the whole picture and see everything for what it is. You know what I'm saying? So to me, there's a lot of people running around here black. Yeah, you running around here black, and you're under your own deception that you African. You're not African. You're not African to me and unless you support the cultivation in some form or fashion of the African American community. If you're not supporting the cultivation of it, then you're black. Okay, you got that? So we don't have to be loyal to that. This is what it come to, guys. I mean, you should expect this. In the last times before Jesus Christ come back, you think the African American community is going to be all together in love, hand in hand? You should have knew that was going to happen. Family ain't even together, let alone the African American community. People you don't even know. Family ain't even together. So what you think going to happen out here on these streets between black people? Huh? So common sense should tell you there's going to be divisions. And the division is there's black people and there's Africans. And that's the bottom line. If you're out here killing each other and all that stuff and trying to kill other people, but not, kill black people, and you guilty of killing black kids and all this kind of stuff like that, man, you are black. You are not African to me. You know what I'm saying? You just have a African appearance, and that's it. And that's how the rodeo goes over here. If you come over here thinking you like, I don't care how you look, I don't care how much, I don't care nothing about that. I don't care about your culture. I don't care nothing about that. I look at the cultivation. If you're tearing down other Africans, if you're tearing down the cultivation, so to speak, of good nutrients and resources for African Americans, then you're not black. You're not African, you're black. See, what people need to understand, what these black guys and black women need to understand, is just because you're black doesn't give you a pass to play with black people. Just because you're black don't mean you can go out here and play with black people. Just because you're black does not mean you have a pass to play with black people. That doesn't give you a pass. And a lot of people, you need to hear it just like that. Just because you black don't give you no pass to play with black people. You're just in much you are as in just much as just as much danger as someone that is playing with an African American here in America, knowing or them having the history that they have with America. You're just as in much danger. They already got my bloodline already got bad history of bad relations between my bloodline and America. I speak for my bloodline. See, the thing about it is, I don't have to look. We don't have to connect to each other as Africans to have our own experience as Africans. I have my own experience outside of a collective experience with Africans. You understand? So, based on my experience and my ancestors' experience, my family, my real family, my African ancestors outside of the black community, my family has its own experience with America. You understand? They have their. I don't need you for them to have an experience with America. I don't need you to have had my own experience with America. You understand that? You see that part? I don't need you to have that. I have my own experience. My ancestors had their own experience, and you had nothing to do with it. You were not a part of that. You got it? You got it? So, in other words, I'm black without you. I'm African without you. My family is African without you. This has to be understood because you act like I need you to be African. If I didn't know any better, you think I need you to be black. Look, we're in total destruction mode now, guys. And you got people running around here acting like you need them to be black. Like I need you to be African. Well, every time I step out the door, that's what I am. to the people, to the police. So I don't need you to be African. It came to this, bruh. It came to this, sis, because people sit back and they think it's all good, and it's not all good when you sitting up playing with black people, and you should be and you suffer the same karma of other Americans that play with black people, because we already got a bad history with America. So that means, you know what that means? That the karma is coming back quick for people that play with African blood. Let that resonate. The karma is coming back quick for people that play with African blood when African people have been suffering here for years and years and years and centuries. Just keep that in mind. And just because you're black does not mean your karma is not going to come back quick. It's going to come back quick too. Because you're still in, at the end of the day, violating an African, and they already got bad history here in America. You forgot that part. So you think subconsciously you got a pass. You think subconsciously you're able to do it. You're not able to do it. Look at your situation. You're not able to do it. And you got too laxed and you got too comfortable playing with each other. That's what has happened in the black community. You got too lax playing with each other. You do not have a pass to play with other Africans. I'm letting you know now, today. I don't care how you look. I don't care where you come from. You don't have a pass to play with black people. If you black and you think you can just walk around playing with black people, whether you robbing them, you're bamboozling them, you're hustling them, you playing con games, whatever you're doing with black people, be very careful. Because that karma's going to come back very quick. That's why a lot of y'all suffering now. You sitting up playing with black people thinking it's all good. You sitting up playing with African blood, knowing the history they already have. But you think because you black, you can do it. Well, here's a news flash. You can't do it. You can't do it. And you finna start getting checked in a major way for all you've been doing. All the blood of African babies you've been spilling, knowing the karma that they already got. I mean, knowing the history they already got, the experience they already have here in America. So now you're going to start to suffer for what you've done, black people have done to African blood. I'm saying just like that. What black people have done to African blood, you're going to start suffering for it. I speak as a prophet right now. You're finna start suffering for what you're doing to African blood. I don't care what you say. Because I know the laws of the universe. I know how the laws of the universe interacts with history. And if there's been a people that has been oppressed over and over again, there's the laws of the universe comes to protect them and to be sensitive to their experience in life and their outcomes in life. And if there's a sensitivity coming from the spiritual world around them and you've been playing with them, you about to reap real quick. You about to get karma real quick, buddy. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you've been told. I don't care what you've been told about the African. I don't care what they told you about this African. If you've been playing around them, you can be Mexican, you can be Puerto Rican, you can be Chinese, you can be whatever you are, Vietnamese, you can be whatever you are. I'm just throwing names, ethnicities out there. You could be whatever. If you've been playing with African blood, you're going to lose. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm sorry to tell you. They told you you got too comfortable with that American culture foolishness. That don't mean nothing. You think the spiritual world regards American culture as flaky and stupid as it is? It's goofy. Imagine the spiritual world acknowledging the American culture. But the spiritual world does acknowledge Africans that have been persecuted and played with here in America. Yeah, keep that in mind, you little Mexicans out here. Now, I don't mean that in a condescending way. Keep that in mind. Because your ancestors has not had the same experience that Africans have had here. Yeah, you may be able to find somewhere where y'all had slavery. You might be able to find somewhere where there was persecution and suffering, but not like African slaves here in America. So that means you out of pocket. That means you way out of pocket. That goes for any other ethnicity, Latino, whatever you are. If you are playing with African blood, you are out of pocket. And I don't care if you black as they come, you out of pocket too. And when you're out of pocket, you get checked. I don't care what you say. I don't care what it is you say. I don't care what they paying you, what money they paying you. I don't care what cause it's for, what group it's a part of. I don't care if you're a part of Freemasons, Illuminati. If you're playing with African blood, you're out of pocket and you're going to have a quick karma coming soon. It's going to be at a theater near you. Your karma is going to be at a theater near you, buddy. And you can go get whoever you want. You can go get preachers. You can get whoever you want. They can't stop it. And if they knew any better, they would be on my side and they would understand what's going on. Because you can't, look, out of every ethnicity here in this country, the African American has been the most persecuted. Everybody agree with that, right? Everybody agree with that, hands down, pretty much. So it's not black and brown. It's just black. And I know people, take it how you want to take it. It's not black and brown. We're not sharing the same experience because when people see Mexicans, you know what these white police look at you when they see you? They see you as a worker. And I'm not saying that in the funny way, in the racist way. They see you as a person that's going to work. Literally. That's how they see you. Okay? When you're outside 1 o'clock in the morning, they think you're just getting off of work, bruh. And if you're out hanging out, they think you don't mean no harm to anybody. They think you out just partying and having drinks. When they see a African outside at night, their red flags go off automatically. So it's not black and brown out here. Okay, you might not get treated like white people. So that's why you're saying black and brown, but you're not also treated like black people. Let me let that resonate. You're not treated like white people, and you're definitely not treated like black people. So you're not treated good like white people, and you're not treated as bad as black people are treated. So it is not, so when people say that black and brown stuff, it irks me because we don't have the same experience. Therefore, you shouldn't even be playing with somebody that's black. I don't care what they told you. I don't care if they told you he raped 1 million children. I don't care if they told you he raped women and men and everything. I don't care what they told you. You better look at the fact that that's an African. That's all I'm telling you. I don't care what they told you, because at the end of the day, we're two different tribes. That's how I look at it. Not racism. We're two different tribes. And your tribe has no dealings really with my tribe. You let that American culture get you out of pocket. Bruh. My African tribe really don't have nothing to do with your tribe like that, bruh. The only thing that bring y'all together here is culture. Think about what I just said. The culture brings you together. The music brings you together. The TV shows bring you together. But the experience in the life today, day-to-day experience, we are not together. We don't even walk the hang together, collectively speaking. So therefore, we're two different tribes. We're two different tribes out here. And so when somebody like me pulls up, and I don't really deal with you, I don't really have any friends it's just how it is. I just don't really have any Mexican friends. What kind of man would I be letting some tribe that I don't even really deal with act like they know me? Yeah, I'm an individual, bro. I don't go with that New York or American culture stuff. Like, you don't know, we two different tribes. Yeah, that's the facts. That's the facts. We're two different tribes. So yeah, yeah. Now you try to be familiar with me, and you've watched so many videos on YouTube, and you've watched so many black movies. You think you're familiar with me, but I'm not familiar with you. You see that part? Think about what I just said. You're familiar with me. You listen to the music that I grew up on. You listen to the music that I listen to. You watch the movies that I grew up on. You watch the movies that I watch. But I'm not familiar with you. And that's when you got comfortable, because you start looking at the culture, you start looking at the movies you've been watching and the music you've been watching. So you ran up on me like I'm like a dog that's licking me and I don't know you. Yeah, like that's where it's at, bruh. I don't know you. That's where it's at. I don't share the same experience that you share. You don't share the same experience that I share here in America. You get looked at as numbers. You get looked at as workers. They single one of us out like we did, like we're terrorists or something. Like we're a terrorist. You have to go through that. So therefore, I'm not going to sit here and let you play with me when we're unfamiliar with each other. Now that's how educated I am. Okay, now these other people, these black people that are not African, that pulls down the cultivation of the African American community and culture. They may jive with you, they may play with you, they may love you, but I don't look. Look, at the end of the day, I'm connected to the real culture. I'm not connected to foolishness. Okay, that's what you need to understand. If that breaks your heart, I'm sorry. Your heart got to be broken because it's too many people out here playing with me, and you think that for some reason me and you familiar with each other, like you know who I am, and we like me and you together. We don't share the same experience. How we together? That's what I'm saying. And so, like, hey, they may, like I said, these other black people may mess with you, but see, me and you unfamiliar, bro. Yeah, you got to individualize that. You can't be running up on every black person. Yeah, word to the wise. For you Mexicans out there, like, while we on this subject, word to the wise, man. You can't run up on every black person thinking it's all good like that. Some people didn't grow up with Mexicans. Some people didn't grow up familiar with Mexicans, and you got to accept that. Some people grew up in all black neighborhoods that had nothing but a black experience that no other race shared. And so when you play with them, they like me, I feel highly offended. I feel highly offended. I'm like, why are you even here? Like, as far as playing with me, okay, the white man, you know how he is. He's racist. He's nosy. He's always in somebody's business. Then you got these black people that are not African. They constantly pulling down the cultivation of the African people and the African culture. So you know they here. And the white man gonna send them anyway because he can't show his face. So he gonna send black people. They his hound dogs. Hey, this is what it is. But for you, you don't even have to be involved because really these wars are all black and white. You know that, right? This war don't got nothing to do with you. And I hate to put it like this, but you're not a factor in this war. You're not a factor. In other words, if you left, nothing would change with this war. If you just left, if y'all just all left and went, maybe not to Mexico, maybe somewhere else, you would not affect the problems here. It would not make anything worse or better. So you see what I'm saying? But if black people left, everything would change. Everything would change in America. Everything would change here. If white people left, everything would change in America. If you left, nothing would change. So what does that mean to the Mexican community? You're not a factor here. You see, now didn't I show you? Right there, I showed you, right? I showed you, right? If you left as a community, what do you think would change here? Well, maybe jobs. Somebody will work them, though. I'm just being 100. Somebody will work them. But culturally speaking, politically speaking, where would be the problem? I'm just being 100 with you. Because you done got so comfortable in the culture, and this hip hop culture done got you so comfortable that you think that you just all up in here with where we at. Nah, everybody paid their dues. It's not about one better than the other. It's about dues, man, being paid. My ancestors paid dues here. Your ancestors paid dues somewhere else. Here, we outrank you. And that's not based on being better than you. That's not based on that. That's based on dues and stripes. Understand? Literal stripes. Stripes on the back of my ancestors. That your ancestors, they ain't getting no stripes on their back here. So here is what I can only speak for. And while you're here, you're outranked. Now, when you go in Mexico, we outranked. We go there, who are we? We're nobodies. Black people in Mexico, they're nobodies. But while you're here, you're outranked. And I don't care how many you are, you outranked. It's just a million people outranked. It's hundreds of millions of people. It's millions of people outranked. You're outranked to the black experience, the African American experience here. So I'm trying to show you how to carry yourself thorough. If you want to be thorough, I'm trying to show you. Stay out of black people business. That's how you stay thorough as a Mexican. I don't care what they tell you. Don't involve yourself in black people business. Word is bond. Unless they involve themselves in your business. Now, if y'all, let's say for the streets, if y'all selling drugs together, y'all hustling together, I ain't got nothing to say with that. Now, they involve themselves in your business. Those particular black people involve themselves in your business. Y'all together. Y'all got something going together. Maybe violations happen. Y'all have some type of relationship. Granted. But people that's not involved in your business, don't get involved in theirs. Fair enough, right? Fair enough. If they're not involved in your business, then don't get involved in theirs. I don't care what nobody tell you. Don't let that American culture make you feel we all together. Because what's going to happen is some black people going to lash out. They're going to lash out at you because like they don't see it the way you see it. You got happy and all this. You look at culture and you wear all the clothes, the Jordans and all Gucci and Louis Vuitton and Versace. You think you black. In so many words. And you're not sharing the same experience as us. And that's the bottom line. So check yourself. When you're out of pocket, check yourself, man. Like, cause look, I don't care what they told you, man. I don't care what they told you. If you don't see that person physically putting hands on somebody, you don't see them taking somebody's life or cussing somebody out to like where it's unreasonable. Because we're going to have arguments as human beings among each other. We might even cuss at each other. But unreasonable stuff, though, that makes no sense. If you don't see them doing that at all, then partner, you gotta fall back. Okay? Because somebody like me, I'm gonna easily pull your card and tell you, look, you out of pocket. You're not a factor in this situation. The problems is black and white. This is a race war. I know they ain't tell you that, did they? I'm telling you that. It's a race war. Well, it looks like it's America against a black man again. If I didn't know any better, it's a race war. That's exactly what it is. Because if it was a white man or an Indian man or even a Mexican man or a Puerto Rican man or like any, Cuban man, any type of man that outside of black, this would have been over. This would have been over. So what does it tell? What does that tell us? That it's a race war. That's why I'm in my position and pocket like I am. I don't deal with overall collective white America right now. You can know it. I don't. It's not a matter of racism. Because a lot of y'all think, well, you being racist, you ain't gonna get to heaven. Nah, I'm in tribal wars, which you have failed to recognize and you're ignorant of. You in a state of ignorance, and I'm not. These are tribal wars among certain races, and when you have those situations, that's a war. It's not time to be embracing each other. It's not time to be sitting back trying to make things work. It's time to neutralize whoever is in the way of the African man. Bottom line. And it happens to be white people. It happens to be wayward black people. And it happens to be Mexicans. Like I don't know no better. Like I'm slipping. Imagine that. Imagine me slipping. Okay, so when people sit up and talk, like, let me address this. Moving on. When people talking about being a king and all of that, let me tell you something. In my personal opinion, the white man overtook this world. There are only white kings in the world. There are no such thing as black kings in the world. Now you can go back to ancient times and all of that, but I'm talking about power, real influence in the world. I'm talking about all of that. There are no black kings, okay? As far as the world system goes, there are no black kings. You got black guys that have money, black women that got money, but they have no true power over, like, worldwide in overall throughout all ethnicities. They may influence white people here. A black guy with $1 billion, he might influence white people here, but do he really influence all people here? All ethnicities of African? Only the white man has that grip like that over all tribes and creeds. The black man does not have, because he has money, have grips or influences or power or authority over all tribes and creeds. They're just some people, they just not going to respect the African man for who he is. That's just how it is. The white man is the only kings really in this in this world.